So before the year's over, I thought I'll do this lecture quickly. It's out here having a nice ground. The grass. Oh, bindi. Bindis here in Uruguay too. Just stepped on a bindi. Hi guys, I'll try and get my face in the sun a bit for you. Right, you can't see my eyes, unlucky. So, I just wanted to talk about 2020. Some people have even erroneously tried to call it, a Great Awakening. That's what 2012 was. 2012 was the eschaton, and I'm going to write a book about this. And actually started, but because I'm so gang stalked here at this camping ground, I had to bury it, and the computer absolutely got wrecked from the moisture of the ground, obviously. And it's interesting that now I'm writing the Organic Portals Handbook that my phone is stuffing up. And my first book, Surfing Sentience, is also half done. So each book, I get halfway and something just absolutely gang stalks me. The demons just come swooping in. It's amazing. This place is not good. If you're all like, oh, it's demiurge created, and some people are like, law of attraction is a soul trap and all this stuff, or a cult and etc. And yet then they'll say in a Organic Portal Soulless Humans video that, organic portals can help your path. But I'm telling you that's, only an annurement factor. It's to inure you, which is non-spiritual, to inure you to this place, to try and assimilate you. Anyway, what I really wanted to talk about was, 2020 is not a Great Awakening number 2 or something. It's the spiritual de-awakening right now. People are not. We're coming down from the eschaton like a trip. 2012, you remember going into it? 2011, 2010, we're going into it, up into it. Crazy epiphanies all the time, right? Those cycles, they were speeding up. And, the epiphanies came more often. It was monthly, then weekly, then daily, right? Like that. And the big visions and so on. And have you noticed that on the way out of 2012, the eschaton, it was like coming down from a psychedelic trip, exactly like that. And, we went up into 2012 and now we've come down, and I'm telling you that, 2020 is not a spiritual awakening. It's definitely a de-awakening, coming back into matter, or the come down of the trip. Right, you come down from, I don't know if you smoke cannabis or DMT, whatever it is, and that's what we're in now. And people are going back to sleep. You can even see this in some of the Organic Portal channels. The information compared to the heights of the information I put out 2 years ago or 1 year ago compared to now, what people say in their Organic Portal videos. It's nothing new. There's no novelty. It's just echo. It's not voice, it's echo. You're repeating conglomerate information. Fantastic. Sometimes the video can even be good and helpful and so on, and very eclectic, but it's not novel. Have you noticed that? And I'm still, someone said this recently last week, I'm the only one putting out new Organic Portal content, like novelty, stuff that hasn't been said, etc. And anyway, 2020 and from now into this apocalypse, it's only apocalypse energy. Tribulation finished in 2019, from 2012 to 2019. Tribulation was the higher mind of this planet putting us in our place. And you're very much locked in, and that's why I said from 2020, after 2020, that's it. If you're not increasing escape velocity, you're trapped, you're done. You're going to get marked, you're going to be put to sleep more and more, not less and less. So that's why I said that in the video, no more higher spirits carnating. As this universe progresses, it becomes more of what it is. Notice the robots are coming next, and I've called this place a machine. You're inside a machine. It becomes more of itself as we progress. It reveals itself more, it unfolds more, it becomes more of itself. The Big Bang in the past is not more of what this is, it's less of what this is, and it was a least complex state. As complexity increases, you see more of what this place is. And by the way, it's pretty hard to know, because in the one last second of the universe, the whole universe has to cycle again. Half of the universe happens in the last 1 second. I have a feeling that's some sort of exit of chrysalis of matter, and the complete last divination into spiritual God, nature, or whatever. Anyway, that was proved by Terence McKenna's time wave. He said in the last 1 second of the universe, half of the universe will occur. Isn't that interesting? Because that's the path that this place follows. Anyway, so 2012 was the great spiritual awakening. 2020 is not. This is de-awakening. People are not going to give a shit. They're not going to care about gang stalking. Already I see less views on my gang stalking videos as people come back into the monkey brain, the Borg conglomerate body. We're going to get actual physical Neuralinked up, right? Everybody's going to get Neuralinked up. There's no place for a higher spirit to operate anymore. And the robots are what's next. It's not Jesus is coming back. Many of us are Earth Christ with light bodies, spiritual high dimensional light bodies. That is the crystalline Christ light body. And many have returned when it was said one would come. Many have come. But that's it. We're the last batch of any higher spirits. There's no more Benjamin Cowbergs after this. There'll be Borg 1, Borg 2, Robot 1, Robot 2, etc. No more Jesuses, no more Buddhas, no more Benjamins. For real. And, this is interesting to me that people can act like 2020 is some sort of awakening, but they never have not even one piece of information how that is. But I can continuously all day show you the opposite, that it's a de-awakening. We're becoming more matter. We come down from the eschaton, and you can all feel it. There's less epiphanies that are spiritual. That proves it. We're becoming more linked up, becoming more simple in that regard of spiritless nature, because spirit is like a hack upon this place. Spirit is complex. Spirit is where all the light body skills come from, and people are not doing that more and more. It's like the ancients did it more. Now people are under the false lights, and I said that this is what they're creating. People who have these lights here in profile pictures on Facebook and YouTube, that light, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying, third eye, my third eye's on, and all this. Let thine body fill with light, blah blah blah. But it's not. It's the synthetic light, and it's actually like a hex, a blocking, and a covering. And it's the Luciferian light I talked about, that the robotic, the upgradable android robotic portals are creating. It's a synthetic light. It's overlay, like the group soul overlay. It's just like an overlay. And, this is what's happening now. And the way you can tell is by there's no new information. No novelty. I say this so much, this word novelty, right? Neo means new from the movie The Matrix. The character's called Neo. And novelty means the quality of weirdness, newness, and neo nature. And if they're not telling you something new and it's just stuff that is, assimilated, conglomerated, eclectic information, okay, it can still be helpful, but it's not novelty. If it's not something that's never been said before or a new bit of information, right? And you're seeing less and less of that. I'm definitely not seeing more of that nowhere. No articles, no websites, no videos. It's not more and more novelty. It's less and less. It's more and more repetition. Right, so this is a de-awakening. People are going to want to join the system. People will beg for the mark of the beast so that they can live and operate in this body. And you have spiritual people going, oh, I just want to help you with here where we are, right? You're here, you've come to this dimension to be here, so let's, help you to be here. But that's again voting for matter, voting for this Borg conglomerate, giving them energy, right? Them, the organic portals, so on, this place. So, this is not a spiritual awakening in any way. You're going to see just Google already. I've seen when I Google things, less results. I can't find old results that I used to be able to find. Google is definitely becoming like authoritarian, like in its search results, giving you more like authoritarian system, institutional, that type of results. I can't find as many spiritual articles or websites. I've noticed this in the last 6 months, in 2020, all of 2020, I've noticed this. So over and over again, example after example, we're coming back down into matter. It's a de-awakening spiritually. It's not we're waking up more. It's all about the body. I've even been working out. It's again for my body, right? So, there's endless example. And I say me, and you say, well, what's the importance of you saying your life? Because I surf concrescence. Another word I hear nobody talking about. Concrescence. Do you know what concrescence is? Man out here is a concrescence. I'm more complex than the surrounding medium. I can highly order the environment. I can do whatever I want because, I think therefore I am and blah, blah, blah. But I'm a concrescence in this environment. And, I surf concrescence. That's how I'm able to live for free. Do you guys know, like I've had like 4 jobs in my life. I'm 30 something. I've lived basically a free life. And people are like, how can you live without money and a job? Because I'm swimming in an ocean of people who have it. You're surrounded by it. You get it somehow. I'm telling you. Anyway, so because I surf concrescence, I'm walking the talk and I am an example, so I can point to myself as an example because I do that. So, anyway, that's just another example. This is de-awakening. It's not, we're becoming more spiritual or anything. Anybody who says that stuff is suspect. You've got to start to look at, are they just trying to establish a YouTube channel, right? Are they just trying to really do something for themselves? Like, sure, they may be helping you, with information in some regards, but look at the deeper undertone. For instance, it can be confusing. You might think, well, Ben, you asked for donations, you're just doing this for money. No, because I started for 10 years or whatever doing it without any, for something like 8 years or 7 years, I've done this, all consciousness-ing and everything without barely any donations at all. And I was just giving. And I got depleted, so now I've needed energy back, but that's not the undertone. My undertone is clearly to give actual help, actual new information and realization and epiphany. Because if it wasn't, I would just simply conform. You notice I don't conform much. Conformity is this huge signal to show you what a person's real motif is. Because if I wanted to get more views, I would just look out there and I'd say, oh, that's what they're all saying, and then I would echo it. Instead, what does Benjamin do? He always is, very often I'm trying to be antithetical, but not just, horribly antithetical for the sake of it, but to enter, I'm only antithetical to the echoes which are erroneous, like for instance this video saying that 2020 is some kind of new spiritual awakening when it's a de-awakening, right? So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there and be very careful with people and their information. It's very interesting because it's so easy to look like part of a group of people like New Ager or I'm spiritual or something. It's very easy to, oh, if I just wear a necklace, I look more spiritual. You know what I mean? So doesn't mean they are, it just means they're wearing a fucking necklace. And likewise, in the opposite manner, I'm not less spiritual for swearing. That shows that, it can be an ambiguous word and I can replace my swear words with better lexicon, upgrade it, but it also shows that I'm being me, my spirit, myself, and not just trying to conform and appease. Anyway, so look out for that.